Okay, so welcome to Dad Gets Fit. This is Dad, he's gonna get fit. I think first thing to talk about is why do you want to go on a fitness journey?
Why do I want to get fit? Well, just look at me. I think is the first thing. I used to not be quite as chunky, let's say, and I would like to get back to that point again. So there's a photograph here that you can see of me sort of 9 years ago.
Yeah, put it in the middle.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to get back to because I felt better, I looked better. I used to do a lot of cycling. As you can see, I was up next to my bike. So yeah, I'd like to get back to that because it's just nicer, isn't it? I felt healthier and less uncomfortable, I think, in my clothes and all of that. So yeah, I'd like to do that. And of course, there's some real health benefits. I'm not getting any younger. I'm in my 50s now, so it's kind of important to look after myself a bit more.
Yeah, and I guess Granddad's had a heart attack, your dad, and he has got diabetes now.
Yeah.
So I guess the best thing you can do is prevent that, isn't it? Because obviously he's doing
Absolutely.
really well now, and he has got a really healthy diet now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And he's lost weight himself.
Yeah.
But it would be a lot easier to do that before your 70s and
Let's do a bit of preventative stuff.
Yeah, it's always better to prevent than it is to have to deal with it afterwards, isn't it?
Definitely. So yeah, that's kind of it. That's why.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess as well, should we talk about the past fitness sort of dalliances you've had, because you've had a lot of sort of
I have
interesting fitness experiences.
When I was young, perhaps find some photographs of me as a youngster, well in my early 20s.
Like getting married.
So my wedding photographs, I'm really thin. So I was always quite thin as a teenager. I did go through a bit of a chubby stage as a kid. A lot of kids do. But then I just grew out of that and was very thin when I got married.
Yeah, you're like a rake.
Yeah, exactly.
You and Mum are both very, very thin on their wedding days.
So it's taken quite a few years to build up the chunkiness that is me now. I've not always had a problem with that, but yeah, over the last few years. Now I'm around about my mid-40s, so this is sort of 10 years ago. I had put on quite a lot of weight, so I was probably a bit bigger than I am right now, actually. And I started to get some health problems, which I thought might be related to that. So I got terrible cramps in my stomach, my side really, but around my stomach area. It was like agony. I don't ever want to experience that again. But it came and went. I would have attacks, and I would get this pain. It was unbelievably painful. And of course, you start worrying about everything, don't you? So I start to think, what if it's this? What if it's that? And they never really did diagnose it properly.
No, it's before I'd had any illness as well. And I often wonder if it was anything to do with that at all.
It's kind of weird, isn't it, that we both had sort of similar symptoms, although mine were nowhere near as serious as yours.
But the pain level...
Acute pain, I think, was possibly even more acute.
And the way you described it,
it's like somebody twisting my gut. So I think the best diagnosis was it was irritable bowel syndrome, which it's very kind of talked about. Anyway, it was kind of strange. So I lost a lot of weight then because I really cut back on my eating, and I cut out alcohol altogether. I didn't have any drinks at all for about 9 months, and I lost a lot of weight, got a lot fitter. I was still getting the pain, so I was still experiencing that, and that gradually started to go, and I've not had an attack for absolutely years now, so I don't have that anymore. It's really strange. I think it's probably stress related, obviously your situation, and there was other things that were going on in my life as well. So that was when I got to my kind of ideal weight, I suppose, and that's the kind of irony, is that I was at my best weight when I was ill, really, and that's
because you were doing everything you could to try and keep Because you were immediately facing a problem and trying to do everything you could. Yeah.
So all it took was agony and the fear of death.
Yeah. But we can't emulate that again.
No, I don't really want to do that. So I want to do it properly this time. I want to lose weight. I'd also like to do some sort of longer cycle rides. I have done that in the past. Me and a friend, we cycled from Peterborough, where we live, to London. So that was a one cycle journey. And then we did one to Amsterdam. So we cycled down to Felixstowe and we got the ferry across, and then we got to the Hook of Holland and we cycled down to Amsterdam. It took us a couple of days to do that. So that was really good.
Cool, though.
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed that. It was a really great little trip. So yeah, to do something like that again would be really nice.
Because one of the guys at uni in first year, he wasn't like massive, but he'd like gained a bit of weight since going to uni, because everyone gains like 10 pounds in freshers. It's just the rule. Yeah. And he was uncomfortable and unhappy, so but he wanted to do something fun in first year holidays. So he booked a cycling holiday where you bike all around Europe. Yeah. So you go onto mainland Europe and then you can obviously get around all over, can't you? Yeah. Once you're out off of our island, you can bike all over. So he did that and he came back really fit.
Yeah, no, cycling is a great way to keep fit. So I'm going to carry on doing some of that. The other thing that's relevant, I suppose, is about 2 years ago, I did start this journey. And I decided to do the John O'Groats to Land's End cycle challenge. So I paid my deposit. That was all scheduled in, and you got sent a training schedule. So it was my first day of training. I was following the schedule, and the schedule said I had to do an hour for that first day. So I finished a bit early, and I thought I'll just take a bit of a detour. And I came off my bike, so my front wheel is a road bike. My front wheel just kind of went like that, and I came off, hit my head, smashed my helmet, and I must have held on to the handlebars as I fell, kind of weirdly thinking that was the thing to do, and because I'd held on to them tightly, just hitting the ground sort of actually broke my finger and my thumb. So my finger is still obviously deformed because of that. I don't know if you can see that. So I ended up not getting treated properly for that because I had to go back to work. So not a good thing to do, but that's what happened. So I that knocked my confidence a bit. So to be honest, because I had plaster on both hands. I was sat there. And I had to gradually get better, so I kind of stopped cycling, and I've gone obviously the other way again now. So I now get back on my bike, not on my road bike yet, although I would like to get back on my road bike. I'm currently on a mountain bike. So this is the first time I've kind of really decided to give it a go again after that.
Yeah. So I think the other thing, I'm going to sort of join in with you.
So I kind of see you as a bit of a guide to my journey.
Yeah, I'm going to be like your AA sponsor. So I'm not like qualified.
Not AA in terms of Alcoholics Anonymous,
but like what is it like?
Like a mentor sort of thing, a guide.
Like, come up with like a fitness one, like a FF. Your FF sponsor. But yeah, we're gonna. So yeah, just kind of like. It's hard to do it on your own, I think, because if you live in a household where everyone else is still doing what you were doing before, and you're trying to improve. Yeah,
it can be difficult. It doesn't matter too much to me, I have to be honest. It doesn't bother me so much. I'm quite happy to sit there while everybody else eats pizza, if I've got my fitness head on, really.
But I think maybe it's in the smaller ways. It's not when you 100% go pizza, but it's when, like, say if you're trying to do like a high protein, like low carb or something, because you're trying to like really fuel your muscles, and that's where you want to get most of your calories from, because you're doing a lot of work. But then every night I'm cooking pasta.
Yeah, obviously
it's difficult.
Meals planning and things like that can be a bit more tricky. But
so we're going to try and like be involved a bit more, and like.
I think the other good thing is it's obviously putting this on YouTube. We're not gonna record this and then see if I do it and then put it up. We're gonna put it up now.
episodically.
Yeah, so this puts pressure on me to actually do it. And I think that might help as well.
Yeah, making a bit of an announcement and doing it. Yeah,
committing to it.
Yeah, so I think, we're going to obviously do the cycling.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily need my help with that. Like, you've cycled before, you know what you're doing. You'll probably take the lead on that. It's just like a bit of moral support. I'll go with you. And it's a nice thing to do together as well. Because we do a lot of work together, so it'll be nice to do an activity. And now lockdown's easing a bit, we are allowed to go out more than once, so I can still take the dog out and go on a cycle.
And of course I do my bike and psych thing, which you may have seen. If you've not, check out Bike and Psych. It's basically, because I've studied psychology, so I like to think about psychology when I'm on my bike, so I talk about it as I go around Peterborough on the cycle routes. So I'll continue to do that. That'll be a way. Now, we did talk about having a goal, didn't we?
Yeah. So I think we need to set sort of goals so that when we do come back on for the next episode, there's something to sort of aim towards and like spur you on and keep things going. So
do I need an ultimate goal? Do I need a goal to aim for?
I think an ultimate goal. So maybe if you could print that picture out if that's like your goal. Yeah. Because they often say that thing like, oh, if there's an outfit you want to wear, like put that at the front of your wardrobe and then you can aim it. But maybe have that picture of you at your fittest, even though you were struggling with like the tummy thing, but you were really fit in that you could bike really far and you were like strong. So that's like a good goal to aim towards, maybe.
Yeah, I think I probably should have a target weight as well. That normally helps me to do it, although obviously I don't always achieve it.
I suppose it's difficult as well though, because you might be gaining muscle, or you will be gaining muscle.
But I mean, my body mass index, for my height, I'm about 5'8", so I'm not really tall. My BMI says I should be about, well, we use stones and pounds. I'll translate this into just pounds, because most people talk about that, don't they, now? Or maybe kilograms. I'll do all of that.
Just put it all, but we're in England and we use stones.
We do use stones and pounds. So 11.5 stone is at the upper end of what's considered ideal for my height. There's plenty to go there. I could go lower, but that's the upper end. So that's where I normally like to be for my general build. I think 11.5 stone is. I actually feel healthy and I don't look too skinny.
I think that's what Thomas is, and you're about the same height.
So I think that's going to be my goal, around 11.5 stone, because that puts me in the ideal sort of band. So I'll no longer be overweight, or I'm probably obese in that category at the moment.
So obviously we're going to come up with a bit of a food plan, do you think? Like, to be a bit more mindful of what we're like taking in order for the workouts to bear fruit, I suppose. So I'm gonna be upfront about this and say that when I do diets, I generally, as you know, kind of go mad. In terms of I basically fast. So there is a diet around that's like the 5-2 diet, which means you eat normally for 5 days and then you fast for 2 days. I do it the other way around, so I fast for 5 days and then eat normally for 2 days. And apparently that's not a good thing to do, according to you. And probably science, really. Yeah, science says it's like Dad has like a really scientific, logical, like evidence-based mindset in general life, but then when it comes to like health and fitness, it just like dies.
Yeah, I've got this conflict between my scientific brain and my just get on with it brain, because I'm very, once I'm determined to do something, I really go for it. So I think I'm a bit impatient, so I really want results straight away and I want to do it as quick as possible.
However, the evidence does suggest that short-term like redonkulous weight loss does not last in the long term. Okay,
so you made a claim there. I'd like to see the papers on which that's based.
Okay, we can find them because there's loads. But then other thing is like in your personal evidence, has it long term had effect?
Well, obviously not, because I'm sitting here.
So maybe we try a different approach.
Oh, okay.
But we can find the evidence if you like. Like I don't have a problem in finding those papers, because there's like, it's like, how scientists like 90% agree that global warming is a man-made thing, and there's like 10% that are like, well, 90% of like dietitians and health experts don't.
Dietitians are not scientists, though, are they?
Health experts, and they have trained a lot, and they're important.
Okay.
You're not a dietitian.
That is true. That is true.
You know, because they can help you, because like health is individual as well. So like we could do the exact same fitness routine, but I'm not gonna need as many calories to continue my like stationary weight. So if we were just maintaining our current weights, you would still need to eat more than me to maintain your weight than I would, you know.
Well, possibly. I don't know.
Because men typically need more calories, and you are taller than me, so you would need more calories to maintain yourself.
Possibly, yeah.
Why are you saying possibly?
Well, because that's a claim. We haven't tested it.
Well, I'll get all the papers and I'll just link them below. But that's just basic.
Okay.
Like,
all right. No, I'm willing to accept that, and we'll do it your way.
Healthy.
And we'll see how it goes. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, like I'm saying, I'm not saying that like you need to eat like, you know, 3 square meals a day. You might be like, I'd rather have 2 bigger meals. That's fine. Or you might want 5 really small meals, because some people prefer to graze throughout the day.
Yeah.
Whatever, but I think you need to make sure you get enough calories so that you don't get exhausted.
Yeah, I suppose that's an interesting thing. We'll have to sort of think about this as we go, but I'm not keen on like having a very strict kind of diet that is subscribed for me, that I have to eat this today and this the next day, and I just can't be doing with that. No. And I must also say that I've recently signed up to a great thing. We don't have, you know, it's not sponsored by this
It'd be
this
great
thing.
If we were.
Yeah, but there's this thing called Beer 52, which I've signed up to a subscription, which means that I get 8 beers, craft beers a month that come to my door, and I don't want to stop doing that. So
no, I think that's fine.
A bit of a treat.
Yeah, I think definitely have treat. This is what I mean, is in like, don't go aggro, like, or if people don't know what aggro means, don't go like aggressive on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I'll use another like colloquialism. You don't want to be mardy all the time. You don't want to
mardy.
Yeah, you don't want to be in a mood all the time, do you? Because like,
no, that's right.
You don't want to be constantly like obsessively thinking about food as well. Do you know what I mean? Like constantly being like, when can I eat? Oh, I just want to eat. I want to eat. And it's like, you want to live your life. Because that's just not sustainable, is it?
Well, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So how much weight do you think I should be losing every week?
Every week? Well, at the beginning, I think you might lose quite a lot regularly, because when you first start, you often do, like when you're starting a bit bigger, you do lose more at the beginning, don't you? But then I think the NHS website says something like 1 or 2 a week.
1 or 2 pounds.
Yeah, once you've, like, you know, once
you got rid of all the kind of fluid retention stuff and everything. And
like, you know, when you first swap from, maybe it depends on your previous diet. I don't think we're particularly unhealthy. I don't think we eat loads of junk, do we?
No, I'm a bit of a binge eater, I must admit. So I don't generally. I eat healthily, but I can easily get through a full packet of crisps, you know, very easily. Not a big bracket, obviously. So I think when I do indulge, I probably that's my problem, I suppose. So I need to be careful of that, I think, and stop doing that, really.
Yeah, I think personally, what I'm going to try and do is have my sweet treat in the evening not always be like a high calorific sweet treat, or like one that's got nothing good in it other than I enjoy it because it's sweet. Do you know what I mean? So like, we've ordered some yogurt, and I'm going to have like nice like yogurt with fresh honey and some fruit put on top of it. And like, I know it sounds a bit like, you could be like, oh, but I just wanted a Magnum. But if you have a Magnum every night, that's a lot of calories.
That's like an ice cream bar with chocolate smothered on it, isn't it? Which obviously is probably about 300 calories.
I think it is. I think it is, and you don't think about it because it's just this little thing. But if you think about that, that's a lot because we've been having like a little. Because also let's be kind to ourselves. Lockdown's hard.
Yeah, that's right.
So we have been having like a sweet treat every evening, and I think I still need my sweet treat in the evening. I like it. So I'm not going to deprive myself of it. And sometimes I will still have a Magnum or a piece of cake, but I do think that having yogurt and fruit, or like I've ordered some like Gray's proteiny flapjacks instead, to have that satisfaction of a cup of tea and a sweet thing.
Yeah.
Without it being like.
But you're not losing weight. It's me.
Yeah, but I feel like if I'm doing that, then we can all sort of.
Right. Okay.
Because I don't want to force things.
I'm not a social person. I don't care what you're doing. you imagine that by you doing it's going to help me.
But if I'm buying it, then it's here.
Well, yeah, obviously, if you're buying it. But I'm not really somebody that follows what other people are doing, so
I suppose
that doesn't help me very much.
Well, what do you want me to do? Like slap it out of your hand and get an ice cream? I'm like, no!
No, well, you can just report back on me to the world, can't you? Just
so,
tell everybody what I've been doing.
But I think, you're not... the thing that's difficult, this is what I think will be our challenge. We should probably talk about challenges a little bit. One thing that I think will be a challenge is that you're not like a big lover of the health foods. Like it is a bit of a challenge to engage you with the health foods.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of fruit.
No.
I will eat grapes. I quite like. So bowl of grapes, but that in itself is probably the worst fruit in a way because there's lots of sugar in grapes. So they're not necessarily healthy.
But it's in a fibrous thing, so there's it's more difficult to break down. So it's like it takes energy to break it down and so on. And it's like, obviously when you just have chocolate, it's just sugar.
Oh yeah.
So it is better.
I go for the savoury stuff. So crisps and snacks, things like that. I can eat. But I like chocolate and things like that. I like a bit of chocolate, but I can be very, very controlled with that. So one or two squares of chocolate is enough, actually, sweet thing for me. It's more that savoury stuff. So that's the one I need to work on the most.
I have ordered some savoury snacks that are a bit healthier instead of crisps.
Right, so this is the weigh-in. I've got t-shirt on and shorts, so that's kind of what I need to wear every time I do a weigh-in. Yeah. So it's the same every time. Right, here goes nothing. These are the most basic scales you can.
They're hard to read, I find.
Yeah, I know, you have to go and I can't read them. What I have to do is take a photograph of them. I actually have to film myself being weighed.
Well, I think it's... Right. So it looks like 14 and then 14.4.
14.4. Are they
4 lines?
4 lines. Okay, so that's each line is £2.
Okay. So
14.8, is it?
Yeah.
Just over 14.5.
Yeah.
So just over 14.5 stone.
And then I think what's the red one? Is that pounds? Or is that?
Oh, might be. What's it say?
93.
That'll be kilograms.
93 kilograms. So yeah, there you go.
Okay, so 14 stone 8. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, we just said you're 14 stone 8 currently. Yeah. Did you work out the pounds?
Yeah, that's about £206. If my calculations are correct. That's about a BMI of 31/32, which is actually just in the obese category. So I'm just in that kind of orange zone, if you like, which obviously is not nice. I don't like being in that category, but it's not as far as I have been in the past. So it won't take much for me to get out of the obese to the overweight. That kind of means a lot to me. Yeah, so that's the first thing I want to. So my first goal really is to move out of that obese category and just into being purely overweight. And then that's quite a wide category. That's quite a big area. So I've got quite a long way to go then before I get back to just being sort of ideal again. Okay, so that's where I am. Yeah,
so I guess goals wise we'll do this again next week.
So if we do this every week, I'll do a weigh-in every week. We'll put that up online, and I suppose I personally don't want to make this into here's how you can do it, because I don't even know if I can do it. It's really just a story, really. It's an experience, and we thought we'd put it on video.
Yeah, and I think it's good to have your experience because there's not loads of that online.
What, for old men?
Yeah.
No, that's true, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, because everybody, I feel like, and if you say you haven't, I think you're lying. If you haven't, I think everybody Googles /YouTubes how to get fit in some variety, because you're either trying to lose weight, gain muscle, whatever. And I think there's a lot of representation for me as a 20-year-old or 20-something-year-old woman.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's not as much representation for men at all. And however, obviously with cookies I might not be getting served up what might be there. Yeah, but in my experience of if just searching non-gendered anything, I only see.
And when I do see things, I must admit I get a bit frustrated because it feels like really preachy. And don't do this and don't do that and don't do this and don't do that. And you know what I'm like? I'm quite sort of difficult. Yeah, that's the way. I don't like being told what to do, and I don't like being preached at. No. And there's a kind of a shaming element that I just get really fed up with.
Yeah, I think we need to stop. There's a woman called Abby Sharp that I quite like, because she's a dietitian, but she does a lot of like intuitive eating and stands against kind of shaming foods or calling some foods good foods and some foods bad foods, because obviously it's not on the sort of list of psychiatric problems, but there is a thing called orthorexia, where you basically get obsessed with health and fitness to the point where it's like you're in a really healthy body, but your mind is not healthy in the way it reacts to it. So I think when you've got a bunch of people preaching, you end up with this sort of like cult of healthy
you can
life.
end up with that, or like me, it just turns me off, to be honest. So I just think, well, I'm not going to be told what to do, so I'm just going to do what I want. So I hope we won't be doing any of that.
No.
Right, I'm really hungry now.
Yeah, I had breakfast and you've not yet.
Not yet had breakfast. No. So I like to weigh myself before I eat, really. So I have had a couple of drinks, got coffee and tea. Anyway, so today is, what's the date today?
Let's check.
21st, I believe.
Yeah, 21st
of May 2020. So if we do this again in a week's time, then we'll see whether I've improved on my 14.8. I'd like to lose at least £2 a week, I think.
Yeah. I think, like I said at the beginning, like, you might average it out, because I think at the beginning, like sometimes you might lose, like in the first month or so, you might lose like £5 or something one week, because a lot of, like, say, because sometimes you eat toast for breakfast, if you just didn't eat the toast maybe, or if you haven't had wine, because that's quite high calorie, isn't it, and things like that. So you might just see that go down really quickly with those first sort of changes, and then it might plateau a little bit, and then sometimes it might go down a bit,
Yeah. So what we'll do next time, I'll tell you what I've done, and whether that's had any effect. That's probably the best thing.
I suppose we'll do like little performance reviews of testing things out.
This worked, or this didn't work, or this is how I responded to that.
Because then generally people can learn from it, because there's a lot of things, and then people with like bodies similar to you might be like, okay, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Right, see you next week.
Oh, don't forget to subscribe to the Evil Sheep channel. There's all sorts of things on it. So subscribe if you want to keep following the journey, and we'll be talking about that. And also, there's so many other things. We've got like we do a lot of cooking as well, and I'm sure we'll do more cooking videos while we're on this journey. So we'll be doing like the healthy noodle thing that I do. You really like the noodles? Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So anyway, so subscribe to the channel and. Subscribe for lifestyle, food, sometimes we sing. Bit of philosophy, bit of science, bit of psychology. Films. We do short films as well. Okay. Right, ring the bell, do all the things.